I drive massive road trains across the Nullarbor plain, hauling heavy freight to the most remote mine sites across Western and South Australia. My life is an endless ribbon of scorching bitumen, the deafening roar of a massive diesel engine, and weeks of bone-aching loneliness inside the cab of my rig. I voluntarily chose this brutal hard yakka to provide my wife, Chloe, with the exact lifestyle she always dreamed of. A year ago, she pitched me this grand vision of opening a luxury eco-glamping retreat up in the breathtaking Flinders Ranges, swearing it would be our ultimate gold mine. I backed her ambitious business plan 100%, transferring a staggering $180,000 from my hard-earned savings to buy designer eco-pods, solar setups, and a top-of-the-line corporate 4WD for the business. I was incredibly proud of her entrepreneurial drive and happily swallowed the red dust out on the highway, genuinely believing that every exhausting run I made was laying a concrete foundation for our wealthy, happy family future. My blind faith violently crashed down the day my rig blew a transmission right outside Port Augusta, cutting my month-long swing short by a whole week. I decided to pull a romantic surprise for Chloe. I grabbed a rental car and drove straight up to the Flinders Ranges, where she was supposedly supervising the installation of the new guest cabins around the clock. Arriving at the exact GPS coordinates of our block of land, I stepped out of the car and froze in absolute mind-numbing confusion. Stretching out in front of me was nothing but a barren, sun-scorched patch of red dirt without a single trace of construction or building materials. Feeling an icy panic forming in my chest, I opened the tracking app on my phone to check the GPS tag I'd hidden in the corporate 4WD I bought her. The red digital marker wasn't pulsing anywhere near the mountains. It was glowing steadily down in Glenelg, one of the most expensive elite coastal suburbs in Adelaide. I immediately spun the car around and drove straight to the address, where I found my corporate 4WD parked proudly in the driveway of a newly renovated two-story mansion overlooking the ocean. Hiding in the shadows of the gum trees, I peered through the massive panoramic windows and saw Chloe drinking premium champagne and passionately making out with Toby, the bloke she had introduced to me 6 months ago as her absolutely harmless, 100% gay marketing manager. Retreating to the safety of my rental car, I bypassed her cloud storage using our synced family Apple ID and uncovered hundreds of masterfully forged invoices. It turned out there was absolutely no eco-glamping business. Chloe had cynically doctored the receipts, and my $180,000 had been illegally used as a massive house deposit for this exact mansion, which was registered solely in her lover's name. Swallowing the sickening urge to vomit over the fact that I was destroying my health behind the wheel just to fund a luxury love nest for this parasite, I cold-bloodedly hired a forensic accountant and prepared a devastating, airtight lawsuit. The perfect moment for absolute payback arrived 2 weeks later when Chloe and Toby hosted a pretentious housewarming and secret engagement party at the mansion, inviting the local elite to show off their fake wealth. Right at the peak of their glamorous celebration, I rolled up to their wrought iron gates in my giant chrome-shining road train, blasting the deafening pneumatic air horns and completely blocking their driveway. I marched confidently onto their packed outdoor deck, accompanied by a court sheriff, and right in front of the stunned, speechless guests, I handed my ghost white wife her divorce papers and a massive lawsuit for grand financial fraud. I loudly announced to the crowd that this luxury home and the 4WD were entirely paid for by my sleepless nights out in the desert, after which the sheriff officially confiscated the car keys and slapped a legal caveat on the property, freezing the asset, leaving Chloe sobbing on the shoulder of her fake millionaire, who was now drowning in debt and facing serious jail time. I climbed back into the cab of my rig and drove off, permanently erasing those lying parasites from my life.